How you doing today?
I am doing great, thank you.
Yeah? That's
I
good.
am.
You having a good time?
I'm
We're
having a
gonna do
great time.
We're gonna do a little interview here.
All right.
You excited?
I'm super excited.
Yeah? Alright. Let's get this going then. So when did you first start boating?
Well, that goes way back to probably when I was about 10 or 11 years old. Back at summer camp, actually, I tried a sunfish sailboat and really enjoyed doing that. And every summer I couldn't wait until I did that again.
So that led you to enjoy boating then, I guess?
Yeah, I really did. I really did.
My prior experience with boating consisted 100% of a small speedboat that my parents had that we went on every weekend in the summer. And I didn't have any experience whatsoever on a sailboat.
Back then, did you ever think about living on a boat when you were older?
Well, I always knew that I wanted a sailboat, and it got to the point where I was asking for it so much that my grandparents decided to buy me a boat. One day they showed up at my house and said, "We got you a boat, Chris," and they handed me a little blow-up boat that maybe about this big or so, and said, "Congratulations, here you go." So when I was in my early 30s, I had a small tragedy, actually a large tragedy in my life, which was my best friend passing away. And that really led me to realize that life is very short. And I really enjoyed boating for quite a number of years and hadn't had the opportunity to continue doing that. So I talked to my wife and thought about the idea of actually living on a boat, and showed her some videos of how that would be, and she thought it was ridiculous, but over time we ended up buying our first boat, a 23-foot trailer sailor, which basically means that you take it apart and you put it back together each time you want to go out boating.
Was sailing scary for you initially?
Sailing was terrifying for me initially. So like I said, I was used to a speedboat, and a speedboat it's flat. It doesn't tip or anything like that. And if it does tip, that's a very, very bad thing. So when I stepped foot on a sailboat and started sailing, and this thing was half on its side, I said, no, this is wrong. This is very uncomfortable. I don't like it at all, and this is not for me.
So did you do anything to become better accustomed to sailing?
Well, when he told me that he wanted to go cruising, I said, well, that's all well and good, but if I ever fall off the sailboat, you better just wave goodbye, because I don't know what I'm doing and I won't know how to turn the boat around and come save you. So he suggested I go down to Florida for a week and take a course down there, which I did, and it was a great time. When we got back, I stepped on our boat and said, no, I got this now, I can do it.
We were on a trip going from Lake Champlain down to Connecticut, and we're in the middle of New York Harbor by the Statue of Liberty, and we had really enjoyed spending the last week on the boat. And I looked at my wife and said, why don't we go live on the boat now?
My initial reaction to that was, we just had the best time of our lives, and we're gonna extend that to be, a couple of years. It sounded good to me.
I said, no, this would be a great opportunity. I mean, things are good for us today, and maybe we should do that. And we decided to.
So now you're on the boat, you're living on the boat, like you've been on there for a while. And what was the most exciting event that happened like while you were cruising?
We actually had the rare opportunity, with unplanned opportunity, to experience hurricane force winds on the boat when we were sailing from Norfolk, Virginia up to New York City. The storm actually ended up making the news with the largest number of trees ever blown down in Central Park, New York City, with some of the highest wind speeds recorded in New York City and the most number of lightning strikes recorded in New York City in that time period. And here we are out in the ocean off of the New Jersey coast in the middle of this.
Storms. Storms were really the scariest, and nighttime sailing. We had to do a lot of night watches, and we would trade off on those. And when you can't see what's coming at you, it's terrifying. You would hear a lot of noises, you would hear waves, you would hear wind building up, and think, oh God, what's coming, what's coming, what's coming? I can't see it, but I know something's coming. I can feel it, I can hear it, but I just can't see it, and that's terrifying. I'll never forget one night he called me up and he said, "Honey, nothing to worry about, but you might just want to come up here. I feel more comfortable having 2 adults." So I walked out of the cockpit and I remember looking up and seeing the stars and thinking, wow, the stars are beautiful. And then I looked to the side and I couldn't see the stars anymore about halfway down. And I thought, that's weird. The stars ended. Why did the stars end about halfway down? And that's when I realized that was where the waves started. That was blocking my view of the stars. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. And I'm like, what do you mean? Nothing to be nervous about. And that was scary. Like, they were huge, huge waves.
One of the great opportunities we had when we were living on the boat was to go from place to place and check out different islands. And we had the opportunity while doing that to meet different people. And at one of the islands that we were at, I believe it was Norman's Key, and there was a pilot and a co-pilot staying at a nearby hotel that we met on the road. And we actually invited them to come back to our boat with us, or actually we were traveling with several boats, and so we invited them back to hang out with us for an evening and have drinks and dinner. Actually, when they left, I'll never forget this. They flew directly over the top of our boat, literally maybe 50 feet off the top of our mast, and buzzed us and then wagged their wings at us before they took off to go back to the U.S.
I would have to say my favorite part was just getting to spend so much time with my family, really getting to know my husband and my kids. My husband and I really worked together well on the boat. When you're in day-to-day life, there's a lot of stress associated with bills and work and things that have to be done around the house. When you're on the boat's really the only thing you have to worry about. So a lot of the stress is gone, and we had a lot of fun working on projects together. If something broke on the boat, we would work on it together to fix it. And we had the time and resources to do that, so it made it enjoyable instead of stressful. Before we left, I was not very social. I kind of preferred to be by myself. I didn't go out and seek a lot of friendships. And when we were out on the boat, we socialized a lot. You met another boat and you had to become friends with them instantly, because that was the only human contact you were going to have maybe for a while outside of your own family. So I learned how to be a lot more social than I was before. The other thing that changed was I took a lot more risks, I would say. Going cruising with my family is not something I would have undertaken on my own if it was just me. But I learned that it was wonderful, and taking risks can result in wonderful things. So when I got back, I think I became a lot more independent and a lot less hesitant to try things that I might not have tried before.
When you've been on the boat, you're visiting different people, you're visiting different cultures, you're seeing different things. It's no longer about the things around you, the stuff. It's about the people, it's about the family, it's about the fun, it's about living life and seeing interesting things and doing interesting things. And so now, we're not living on the boat anymore, but I'm still always looking for the opportunity to make that happen.